Okay, hi guys. My name is Kennedy Shkoli, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make use of Bootstrap to build beautiful websites for beginners. Yes, I'm going to be doing that and showing you exactly the stage by step process that you need to follow in order for you to be able to build websites with Bootstrap. Now, Bootstrap is a framework of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, a compiled framework which anybody can make use of to build whatever website that they prefer or that they want to build. Most people actually use Bootstrap in building the various types of website that they need. So today we're going to be talking about how to make use of Bootstrap in building the website you desire. All right. So with that said, let us begin. I will be the first thing you need to do is go to Bootstrap 5 and search. And once this is done, you go to getbootstrap.com. Click on the link and it will take you to the introduction page. So before we get to the docs, let's go to the home page and you see, voila, you can see that this is the exact image that we have here, the exact image that we have in this place. So you can see build fast responsive website with Bootstrap, and that is the exact image we have here, build fast responsive websites with Bootstrap. So Bootstrap helps you to quickly design and customize a responsive mobile first sites with it. And for them, they are the world's most popular front end source toolkit featuring SaaS. We'll talk about that in future videos. Don't worry about that. And means responsive grid system, extensive pre-built components, and powerful JavaScript plugins. So all these are the things that we are going to be learning in this video. So this is the part one of the video, and we would talk about a couple of things. Then there are going to be other parts which you still have to go through to follow up on this. So yeah, we are here. In order for you to be able to use Bootstrap, most people prefer downloading it. So you could see here this button download. You download the Bootstrap, you click on it, and it will take you to where you can download the CSS and JavaScript files. It can also take you, you can also download the source files if you wish to. You can download the examples, but for now, let's download the compiled CSS and JavaScript files. So yes, that will download into a raw file. I do not want to open it this way. That will download into a raw file, and then you can let me go to where it is on my folder. Okay, good. So this is where it is in my folder. Then all you need to do is take it to wherever it is you want to work on, which for me, it's going to be my desktop. So I'll be pasting it here in my desktop. All right. So once it's here on my desktop, what I need to do next is to extract here. Now, extracting means you are opening it up. Extracting means you are opening it up into a folder where you can then find it. But we can I find it in here? Bootstrap. Okay, good. This is where it is. Bootstrap 5.1.3. So we open that up and we're going to find the CSS files and also the JavaScript files. So that is how to download the CSS and the JavaScript files before you begin using it. Okay, so let's get back. Once that is downloaded, you can attach your files through it and then do whatever it is you like. But first of all, you need to know that you must have a pre-knowledge of HTML and CSS. You may not have a pre-knowledge of JavaScript, but you must have a pre-knowledge of HTML and CSS for you to be able to use Bootstrap. It's very important. If you do not, you have to first of all learn HTML and CSS, or if you are new to HTML and CSS, just wait. In a couple of days, I will be launching on a video that would help all beginners to understand more about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I'm going to be launching how to understand HTML and CSS fundamentals, and also HTML, CSS, and JavaScript full beginners course 2021. So for those of you who do not know anything about HTML and CSS, you could pause this video and then wait a couple of days before it comes up. All right. So let's go back to home. Now, if you do not want to download anything with this method I just gave, if you do not want to download the HTML CSS and you want to work directly from online using the CDN, all you need to do is click on Get Started. Now, when you click on Get Started, it takes you to the introduction page where you can find a quick start about it. Here you will see the CSS link. You can see this, it says https://cdn jsdeliver.net and so on and so forth. This is where the CSS style sheet is linked to. So if you copy this, if you click on this and copy it, and then copy it to your text editor, it then connects your CSS, your work directly to the online CSS. And so the same thing goes with the JavaScript. So you also have the separate ones that you can use and do whatever it is you want. But for now, what I am looking after is your starter template. Now, every website has a starter template. There must be a starter template for every website. Let me open. Let me open Visual Studio Code and show you what I mean about this. Now, in Visual Studio Code, it comes well arranged. My laptop is a little bit slow, forgive me. Okay, in Visual Studio Code, it comes well arranged. This is already a project I worked on. This is the source code of my online profile, but this is not what I want to show you. So we are going to be hiding that. But before we do, let's open a new file and say my new index.html. Mind you, before you save any file like this, if it's your first file in a folder, if it's your main file, it should be saved as index.html. I already have a index.html, an index.html in this folder already. This is just for tutorial purposes. So do not save your main file as my new index.html, because most at times when you're about hosting, the hosting platform will look for this specific file which should be named index.html. So please do not do this. This is only because I want to show you the starter template. So let's press enter and you can see a blank page has been opened. So in Visual Studio Code, you can easily have your own starter template by just typing in HTML and selecting the HTML hyphen HTML, sorry, column 5. And voila, there you have it. Easy. You do not need to start typing it all over and over again. So for the purpose of this video, let me explain what this starter template is all about. Now, in the starter template, you can find the doc type, which is literally saying what type of, or asking what type of document is this. And you can see the HTML. So the type of document is HTML. So when the browser is reading through the file, it first of all goes through this. What type of document? Oh, HTML. Okay, good. It goes to the next line, line 2. This is where the HTML begins. And what language is this HTML going to be written in? You can see language, English. Then it goes to the next line, the head. Now, in the head, there are a couple of tags that are always in the head, like the meta tags, the link tags, and the title tags, and a lot of CDNs are going to be connected on the head tag. So if we are to go back here and copy copy the CSS, copy it, then this is where we are going to be pasting it. V, good. This is where we are going to be pasting it. Don't mind my Visual Studio Code. It likes doing that, and that's why I prefer brackets. Brackets does not give you that space. It automatically folds each of them. Okay, so moving on, links. So this is an example of links. So this is where you put your CDN. So once this is done, you can then write your code. As long as you are connected to the internet, you would be automatically seeing the updates of whatever you do, the codes that you have written, and your style, your file or your project. We have the basic CSS layouts. So yeah, there are a lot of basic CSS layouts, and this video is basically for Bootstrap for now. So in the video that follows this, you would see how to use CSS and how to also use HTML in case you are a newbie to it. So the head contains meta tags. Meta tags are basically talking about the website, characteristics of the website. What is the character set of the website, HTTP equivalents, content, name, and all that and all that. So meta tags are basically information that the website holds or information about the particular website. Okay, then we have title document, title, and then you see under in between the uh, title tags, we have document. Now, this is always generated for you. We can change this to my new website, depending on what it is you want to do. Okay, so my new website, that is that. So after the head tag, you will have right below it the body tag, and you can see that in this HTML we always have the body, the cursor a little bit indented into the tag itself. It's some way we developers do so that we can easily read the code. Now, for example, if I should write a p tag here and say this is a paragraph, you see that it looks more beautiful this way because the body tag, which is here, is outside, and the child tag, which is the one inside the body tag, which is P, is inside, a little bit indented inside, and that makes it readable. So you may not actually write your code this way. You can decide to write your code like this. Oh, sorry. Like this. Good. You can decide to write your code like this, but with this way, people may not be able to read your code easily. So that is why the way we usually write it is this way. So after the body tag, we also have the HTML closing tag. So for purposes of better understanding, you should understand that in HTML, everything is written in tags, and a tag has an opening and a closing tag. Okay, these are things that we'll talk about in the HTML video, but for now, let's focus on Bootstrap. Okay, all right. So moving forward now, When you take your when you want to pick your JavaScript, in case you want to use your own specific JavaScript, you could copy your JavaScript, the JavaScript CDN using this link from Bootstrap. The best thing about JavaScript, about Bootstrap, is that it's a copy and paste. You can just copy it and tweak whatever it is you want to do, but you have to still understand the basics of HTML and CSS to be able to use this. Okay, so all you need to do is copy this, copy. You come down, and most times I see a lot of developers putting their their code, the link to their JavaScript file here. But by right, it shouldn't really be here because most times people, when they want to read your code, when the browser is reading your code, it actually reads your JavaScript code last. So it's a practice for most developers to read your code, to meet your JavaScript code below here. That's at the body tag, but below, at the base of everything, at the base of every other lines of code. So if you are writing, if you have, for now we only have one line of code inside the body tag. But if you have 1,000, 5,000, there are applications that have 10,000 lines of code. So if you have those lines of code, your JavaScript codes always comes, JavaScript connection or CDN always is stored at the base of your body tag. But sometimes people can decide to write, so developers can decide to write their code inside the body tag, inside the HTML, which, no, no, don't do that. It's not professional. It's not allowed. But for training purposes, I would also show you the different types so that you understand what should be done and what should not be done. Okay. But if you are putting when you are storing your CDN, your JavaScript CDN, make sure that you always put it at the end of your body tag. Okay, now let's move forward. So this specifically is the starter template for Visual Studio Code. So it makes it easier for you to use and for you to do whatever it is you want to do. But these are the most important things that you must have in your starter template. The doc type, which says it's a HTML document, the HTML, language, head, meta tags, link tags, title, body, and your closing HTML tag at the end of the day. Okay, good. So in case you do not want to use that, and you are, after all, we're talking about Bootstrap here. So in case you are more interested in using the Bootstrap template, you can simply copy it here. You'll find it at getbootstrap.com, docs 5.1, getting started, introductions. Now, this is 5.1. Bootstrap had an earlier version, which I met, which was 4, Bootstrap 4. You can switch the versions here. You see, Bootstrap has a version of 4.3.2. I did not really use that. It has 3.4.1. We did not use that. So I made Bootstrap at 4. This is when I started using Bootstrap. And now I'm connected to Bootstrap when they have also upgraded to 5.1. So you can decide on whichever one you want to use. But I think I've been using this 5.1 for a long time and it's cool. You go ahead with it. I think they have updated a lot of things. So you could also use that. So moving forward, you could click on this to copy a starter template, and then all you need to do is highlight the one you have before, if you have put something there before. If not, just paste. And you see that it comes up with its own CDN. You do not need to copy the CDN from anywhere again. You do not need to start you know, taking the JavaScript, putting it where it's supposed to be. No, you don't need to do any of that. And you can also see that the JavaScript CDN, which this one here, this JavaScript CDN, it's at the base of the body. The link to the JavaScript is at the base of the body. So these are all, you can neglect all this. They are all comments. We'll talk about comments in the HTML and CSS section so that you would understand. That's why I say if you don't understand anything about HTML and CSS, please pause a little bit. This is what you should be doing if you already understand HTML and CSS, at least the basics. So we don't need all that. Yes, and we still do not need this space. So basically, you see that they have a title tag, they have the Bootstrap CSS, which is this one at the head. They have the JavaScript, which is this at the base of the body, which is the last thing. They also have a Hello World H1, which is a header title known as Hello World. Most programming language always do this. They give you their basic template always comes with the Hello World version. Even if you are doing in Java, you're programming in Python, and so on and so forth. So Hello World is the basic for every programming language, and Bootstrap has done the same thing. So kudos to Bootstrap for that. So yeah, this is the basic template for Bootstrap. And with this now, you can then do anything you want to do with it. So before we close up, let us add a navigation to it. And that is something that is very interesting. So with Bootstrap, you do not really have to write exactly every type of code, but you just need to write the one that just need to copy and paste and then write the one that you know that Bootstrap does not have, like tweak your code in the way you want. So what we are looking for here is components. Components contains the different parts of a website. Okay, so you can see we have accordion, we have alerts, we have badge, we have a breadcrumb, we have buttons, we have button groups, cards, carousel, close buttons, collapse, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to be naming everything, but you could go through it and you see everything you need to see here. So we are going to be targeting the nav bar, which is the most important, for me, the most important part of your website because it's where links you to wherever it is you need to go to. It's where it has the various pages. So you can just go to your navbar, click on home, click on examples, and so on and so forth. For Bootstrap, you can see here that is the first this first division is where their nav bar is. So you can find the icon, the logo of the company, the Bootstrap logo, the nav bar, another navigation links to their social media, the GitHub, Twitter, and so on and so forth, and a download button to be able to download Bootstrap. So this is the basic template, the basic view of how a website should look like. It's the modern view. Most websites do not used to look like this, but right now it's looking very much perfect. So let's dive right in. So these are things you should read when you go here. They have a lot of do's and don'ts for Bootstrap. So when you go here, you should read it. But I'm diving right into showing you how to use the nav bar. So this is what we are after right now. This is what we're after. So you can see that it has already been built. A background color has already been given. All you need to do basically is to edit. So let's copy this, take it to to our Visual Studio Code, and let's remove this. We don't need it. Okay, so here we go. Let's paste what we copied here. Good. And once this is done, we can leave the title. We don't really care about that for now. Let's change the nav bar name to what should we use? Let's say Bootstrap classes. Bootstrap classes. Okay, I don't think this is a capital letter S. Okay, great. So let's control and save. Now, in order for you to be able to see this, I would be taking you to where I stored it. Good. And we have good, my new index. So this is the file you should be opening. We open it and voila, there we are. Bootstrap classes. So you see how easy it is for you to actually make the things you want to make or build the websites you want to build. You don't really need to do much of coding. You just need to edit a few things. Now, not just only Bootstrap have this, there's also materialized CSS and so many other ones. So, but with Bootstrap is my favorite. So with Bootstrap, you can actually do what you want to do when you want to do it. So all you need to do in Bootstrap is edit. So let's say I don't want this search bar here. I want to remove it. All I need to do is go down back to where it is. And this is why I said you need to know HTML and CSS, because if not, you won't be able to read and find out what it is you're looking for. So this is what I'm looking for, forms. You can see now, whenever you see forms, forms are input in ways of putting information, giving information to the back end or to the receiver or to the owner of the website using sections that allows you to put in or type in something or put in data into that particular content or form. So what you do here is to simply highlight it, then control plus forward slash using VS Code or brackets, control plus forward slash with automatically comment. So with this line that you are seeing here, the lower than sign, the less than sign, the exclamation mark, and the dash dash is the opening code for the comment. So when you're commenting something, you have to have this opening part and this ending part. So if we save and then refresh, you see that it has automatically disappeared. It is no longer there. Okay. Now, I do not want this, my links or my navigation to be very close to the Bootstrap classes, to be very close to the title. No, I don't want it. I want it to be at the right hand side. Okay. So what do I do? What do I do? Okay. I then go to look for where the navigation starts. Great. And there we have it. You see here where we have the ME auto. Good. Now, what we need to do is change it to MS auto. Save that and refresh. Voila. We automatically have the home links drop down and disabled at the right hand side. So this is how you can easily work with Bootstrap without having to code. So yes, you still have to know HTML and CSS for you to be able to read the Bootstrap code, but you do not really need to code much for that to happen. So with Bootstrap, someone can build a website in an hour time. Someone who already knows how to build a website from scratch can build a website using Bootstrap in an hour time. Like for me, if I'm to build a website, a full maybe 5 page website, it will take me just a day. Once everything has been produced, the contents and everything, the images and all that is necessary. With Bootstrap, it just take me just a day and everything will be done. So, again, finally, we are going to be changing one last thing. You can see there's something called container and container fluid in Bootstrap. It is a way of storing the information, a way of storing the information in the website. Like if you look at this now, you will see that the distance between the edge of the screen and these Bootstrap classes, and also the distance between this other edge of the screen and this displayed is small. Okay, most people, well, it depends on the preference of whoever you're building the website for, or what you want to build the website for. But most people prefer it to have a little more space in between. Okay, in between these spaces, there should be more spaces in between. And majorly, what does that is padding or margin, but mostly padding. So you could use padding to do that if you are building from scratch. But again, the advantage of Bootstrap, you do not need to do that. All you need to do is go and look for where it is. Okay, good. You can see the container fluid here. The container fluid. You need to remove this fluid, leaving only container, save, and then refresh. And voila, there we have it. Now there's more space between the edge of the container and the edge of Bootstrap classes, which is the name of your website. And the same thing happens with this other side too. So yes, there you have it. This is the part one of building. This is the part one of how to make use of Bootstrap to build beautiful websites for beginners 2021. So thank you for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and do not forget to comment down below if you need anything or whatever it is you need me to do for you, or any explanation you need me to explain. So just like, subscribe. I'll be very grateful if that is done. Do not forget to do that. And also comment down below. See you in the part two.